Okay, welcome to Marco's really boring and basic asset tutorial because a lot of my fans were asking me to do it, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start by showing you guys how to make like a basic like rectangle or like stuff like that. And like how to shade it and maybe like a rounded rectangle or something. I'm gonna start by making the sage color, not this color. Hold on, change it to like that color or something. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by not using strokes. I add strokes as like the last thing that I do. Okay, so I'm just gonna make a boring basic square. I'm going to convert it to a symbol. Don't ask why I don't do the keyboard shortcuts. I'm gonna name it whatever. I'm just gonna name it a symbol one. And then for what I do here, I'm going to duplicate the layer. I hold down Alt on my keyboard. I do this. And the next thing that I do is I hold down Control and Shift at the same time. And I do this. Usually it's not going to look the best immediately. I'm just going to adjust it ever so slightly so it matches it better. And you can see it lines up perfectly. I'm going to recolor this as like maybe like a darker version of this. I don't really care. And then I'm just going to combine all of the layers together so it's all in one layer. I'm going to duplicate the layer. Usually, I'm going to show you why this doesn't work. Usually, it will be like really dumb and stupid, and it won't hold on, I'll show you what it does. I'm going to set the size to usually what I use, which is a size 3. If you zoom in here, you can see that it's like weird. It doesn't line up properly. It's like because Adobe is just weird like that. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to duplicate the layer. On this layer, I'm going to set the fill just to by itself. I'm going to make these not visible. And so whatever stroke size you use, double it. It's going to show up as like the normal stroke size. Just it's weird how strokes work in Adobe. Just double it. It will look the same. It won't look like huge. I do that. At first, it'll look like a little weird. Just trust the process. I'm going to set these to like squares just so like you can see that better. And you should have a basic boring little thing for coloring. I'm just gonna set it to like that color or whatever. Yeah. It really only takes like 2 layers. I'm gonna make this like a little brighter. Yeah, it really does not take that much to make a little boring, little basic thing like this. Next, I'm going to show you how to make like a rounded type asset, like a rounded square. So I'm going to duplicate this symbol. Usually whenever I'm like actually making assets, I'll name them properly, but I'm not going to be doing that. Okay, so I'm going to start off by like making a rounded square. You can see this in rectangle options, or you can see it in rectangle primitive tool. I'm going to set this to like 5. Will that work? I'm going to set like a little bit higher. So it's like at like 10. Okay, this works. I'm just going to set it like normal like that. Okay, so I'm going to start off by doing the same thing that I did before on the previous asset. And I'm going to hold down Alt. I'm going to hold down Shift, Control, and Shift. Hold on. Sometimes it doesn't work. You have to okay. Holding down Control and Shift. At first, it's gonna look really weird. What I do is I just like zoom in and I like try to align it as best as I possibly can. Like that. It's okay if it's not like perfectly. I don't know. It can mess up your stroke at the end, but usually this is just what I do. I'm gonna set it to the previous color, what I set the previous color to. I'm gonna just go in color. I'm gonna add that to some of my swatches. Okay. I'm going to set this to the color that I just swatched, so that would be that. And so usually what I used to do, I would just like leave it like this, but what I am going to do is I'm going to make this a gradient. I'm going to go in linear gradient. Don't mind my other gradients. Hold on. I'm going to make it like this. And to do this, you to transform a gradient, make it look like up and down and like like whatever you do, you're going to go on gradient transform tool or just press F, and you can like move it around. I'm holding shift, by the way, so it like is more aligned. You can just set it like that and make it bigger like that. I probably should be doing this like on an actual thing. Hold on, let me show you. Okay, so like you can make it like bigger like that. Yeah, that's what we want. Okay, I'm gonna do it like somewhere like that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make like something like this. It should look like this. I think that's usually what I do. It should look like something like that. I'm going to make this color. This is going to be the shading for this because usually I don't do that. I'm going to set it to that. Usually it's going to look weird. I'll show you how to fix that in a second. I'm going to make it that color, and then for the bottom one, I'm going to make it a darker version of this. So like something like that. Okay. I'm going to lock this the topmost layer just so I can like show you like really how to do this. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to select half of this. I'm going to use the gradient transform tool. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it, make it go this way so that it does more of like that shape. This is usually what I do. Make it more like that shape, and you can make it less rotated to have more like depth in your asset, which is what I'm going to do here. And just rotate it like just however you want to. It doesn't really matter. And then, oh, wait, that's not good. Might have just messed up. I don't know what the freak just happened. Okay. This is not normal. Weird, anyway. Just align it like how you normally would. Yeah, okay. And then just do the same thing to the other side. Make it somewhat like this. It really does not have to be picture perfect. No one is going to be like judging your assets like, this looks awful. Okay. Cute. Usually I'm noticing that I'm just going to align it so that the gradient thing right here starts where the curve starts. That's that's just how the line is shining onto it. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to make it smaller. I'm probably going to do that to the other side too. Okay. This side too. I'm going to make this like super duper, just a little bit tinier. And that's how I make a rounded square. And I'm just going to do the same thing. Hold on. Control C, Control V. I'm going to put it all in one layer. And then I'm going to use this layer right here. I'm going to Control V, Control C. I'm going to hide the topmost layer. I'm going to make this layer the same color as everything. And then I'm going to use this tool. I'm going to get rid of that. And then right here, it should look like that. Now, these aren't like the best assets ever, but this is just kind of what I do. And yeah, that's my tutorial. That's my thing. Yeah. And usually if you prefer to do this, I would change it to a fill if you want to, just to not have it like mess up sometimes. But if you keep it as a stroke, you can like do that stuff and like still manage it. Yeah, that's how I make these assets. What?